Hello and welcome everybody to the Caballero Report. This is where we are going to cover everything from political news to tech to even any random news that I find very interesting. My name is Joshua Caballero. I will be your host. I hope that y'all really enjoy the content that I will be making. I promise I'll only get better day by day. I just want to do what I've been wanting to do for a while, and that is to tell the truth, to look at news, the real news, and give it to people straight as I learn it myself. There's been a lot of things, whether it's on network TV or other news outlets, that'll give you a biased spin on it. And although I may have my opinions, I will read it to you straight from the articles, the things that I think are the best and what you need to know. So, starting from today, December 18, 2020, we start with our first article. And in this article, we're actually going to talk about how Joe and Jill Biden will get their vaccine Monday in Delaware as Nancy Pelosi follows Mike Pence in getting first round of shots. This is actually from the Daily Mail, and let's take a look at that article. So, taking a look at the article, we have Joe and Jill Biden will get the vaccine on Monday. And President-elect Joe Biden and his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, will receive the first dose of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine Monday in Delaware, the Biden-Harris transition announced Friday. The Bidens will travel to a local medical facility to get their shots, where they will also thank healthcare workers. Jen Psaki, the incoming White House press secretary, told reporters not giving away the locale yet. But obviously, we want to make sure we are not creating chaos around where he'll be getting it done. But he will be doing it in public, which is important to us, as he stated many times, to send a clear message to the public that it's safe. Psaki said. I hope I'm not butchering her name. She also said Vice President-elect Kamala Harris and her husband Doug Emhoff will be getting vaccinated the following week, as healthcare advisors urged Biden and Harris to stagger their doses. Psaki wouldn't get into why experts gave Biden and Harris this advice, though presumably it's in case one of them has an allergic reaction, which are rare. Very interesting, because this actually ties into our second article. But before we get to that, it's actually very interesting to see, it's very important actually to know that President-elect Joe Biden and his wife Jill Biden will be getting the vaccination, because if they do win the presidency coming January 21st and they're inaugurated, well, it's very important to know, because there are cases of allergic reactions to the vaccine that could be very detrimental. And if this gentleman is going to be our president, well, it's very important to know that he'll be okay, and to keep a close eye on him, since these vaccines are still practically in their trial run. There was Operation Warp Speed with President Trump that he put, but, you know, they did a process that usually takes years and crammed it all into a couple months. So it's very interesting. But that actually takes us to our second article, which is actually from The Hill. Let's go to that real quick. So right here, coming from The Hill, Alaska healthcare worker released from hospital as after vaccine allergic reaction. An Alaska healthcare worker was released from the hospital on Thursday after experiencing a rare but serious allergic reaction to Pfizer and BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine, the Anchorage Daily News report. The worker was released from Bartlett Regional Hospital after staying 2 nights, the news outlet reports. The New York Times reported Wednesday that the worker experienced flushing and shortness of breath, which subsided after being treated with epinephrine. The Anchorage Daily News reported that a second worker was treated for a mild reaction Wednesday and was sent home after about an hour. Alaska's chief medical officer, Ann Zink, told the news outlet that multiple entities, including the state, hospital, and Food and Drug Administration, are looking into both incidents to see if the incidents were reactions to the vaccine itself or if it was a problem with shipment. The U.S. began inoculating healthcare workers and residents of long-term care facilities with Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine shortly after the FDA issued it an emergency use authorization. So, basically from the article and from my little understanding of how the FDA actually works, it seems like the FDA also rushed their approval of the Pfizer vaccine. From what I understand, I know the FDA is in control of everything, drugs, food, anything. Basically, if they're not okay with it, it's not safe. And they issued an emergency use of authorization. It's very important to note that because although it's been one case of an allergic reaction to the vaccine, we don't know how often that can actually become. Right now they're just testing it on healthcare workers, but we don't know what it can do to the public, since the public consists of different types of people, different races, different health, different backgrounds. And this can be detrimental to the health of a lot of people if it is not completely approved. This kind of brings in some skepticism into the hearts of a lot of people, especially the anti-vax crew, and even people that aren't anti-vaxxers, but that have a little bit of they're just a little scared of getting that vaccine. So that takes us to our third article of the day, which is actually from RT News. This website isn't NewsGuard certified, or it has a little bit of points, but the reason why I wanted to bring up this article was because it's actually from my hometown of Texas. And as the article reads, Texas hospital botches vaccine PR stunt as nurse jabbed with empty syringe, but liberals say pointing it out is anti-vax. Let's head on over to the article. So, from our team, Question and More, again, Texas hospital botches vaccine PR stunt as nurse jabbed with empty syringe, but liberals say pointing it out is anti-vax. I believe this is a conservative outlet, but disregarding that, an El Paso, Texas hospital tried to promote COVID-19 vaccinations by turning its first doses into a media event. But the publicity stunt backfired when one of the nurses being inoculated was apparently stuck with an empty syringe. Video of Tuesday's vaccination of 5 nurses at University Medical Center of El Paso showed the second nurse being jabbed with a needle, but the plunger wouldn't go down because it's already at the bottom of the syringe. The video circulated on social media on Thursday, but rather than focusing on the embarrassing blunder, some observers suggested that posting the footage was an attack meant to diminish public confidence in vaccines. And actually, from the tweet from Hotep Jesus, you're a professional but don't know when you have an empty syringe. Allegedly, this is the first COVID-19 vaccinations at UMC this week. And if I play the video, you can actually see from the video that the syringe seems to have been empty. And the gentleman that's administrating the vaccine is not moving the syringe at all. This brings up a little bit of a suspicion, especially in the hearts of a lot of people, and even in me, because these are the types of moments where you think, why even try to make a stunt like this? If you're going to administer the syringe, if you're going to administer the vaccines to people, do it when you're actually going to do it. Because when you do things like this, you make people that are very skeptical to this vaccine, and you make people that are just full-blown anti-vaxxers really afraid of this vaccine. It really hurts the cause of what Pfizer and Moderna are trying to do. And I believe that that can create serious problems, especially in the trust of a lot of Americans. And but it seems like there is good news, because in our last article here, we have from the Hill, FDA gives green light to Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Let's head on over there. So, once again from the Hill, FDA gives green light to Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, on Friday cleared the nation's second coronavirus vaccine, giving additional hope that the end of the pandemic could be in sight. The official emergency use authorization for the Moderna vaccine comes after an agency advisory panel voted 20-0 in favor of the vaccine Thursday. The authorization now allows the Trump administration to begin shipping nearly 6 million doses of the vaccine across the country. Once a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, panel meets and votes this weekend, vaccinations will be allowed to begin. Between Moderna and the vaccine from Pfizer BioNTech that has already been approved, health officials said they expect to deliver enough doses to vaccinate 20 million people with the first dose by the end of the year. Still, it will be a long time before vaccinations are widely available. Even under perfect conditions, the general population likely won't get vaccinated until late spring or summer. Until then, health officials are warning everybody that the coming months will be dire. Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine require 2 doses, and officials said they intend to hold back the second dose and ship it to the states separately to ensure there's no waste. Both vaccines are about 95% effective to the general population, although Moderna's was 86% effective for people over age 65. Moderna's vaccine is anticipated to create fewer logistical challenges, as it does not require the same ultra-cold storage as Pfizer's vaccine. It can remain stable for up to 30 days at the same temperature as a standard freezer. Unlike Pfizer, Moderna's vaccine was developed with significant federal financial support. The administration's Operation Warp Speed has invested $4.1 billion into the vaccine's development and distribution, and the National Institutes of Health helped run clinical trials for the company. The reason why I say this is good news is because although Moderna has an 86% effective rate for people over age 65, is because the Trump administration has really put a lot of money into the development of these vaccines. And I believe that although we're seeing some small, rare cases of the allergic reaction to the vaccines, there might still be hope. Now, with all of that being said, I just want to give my opinions on everything that I've read. I see the vaccine is could be a wonderful thing, could be something that could finally eradicate the COVID-19. The problem here is there is a little bit of a health risk with it. And I don't mean that with everybody, but it seems like rarely it's affecting people and they still don't know what it is. I believe it was somewhere in Australia or somewhere around the world where they were administering the vaccine, and it was actually causing false HIV positive tests to pop up on people. And HIV isn't really something people want to play around with. So when they see that, they take that very seriously. And I mean, I understand, but hopefully they can fix up these vaccinations. They can really see that it's something that can be trustworthy, and maybe more Americans will be more open to the idea of getting vaccinated than thinking twice about it. Because Lord knows we are scared. But I know this is probably a very short video, and I want to be consistent with my videos, and I promise they will get longer, and I will get better at speaking and presenting y'all the news. I want to make this a regular thing, and I want to be able to give y'all my opinions, my thoughts, and also give y'all the news straight to how it is. I don't want to hide anything from y'all or tell you lies, tell you things you want to hear. I want to be able to present everything, whether it's positive, negative, whatever it may be. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for this channel. So I try to be as truthful as possible. I know so far the vaccine seemed promising, but hey, what do I know? I'm just an idiot with an opinion. I'll see you on the next video.